My dog now listens to me every single time, even if he's in the middle of the best playdate of his life. Now, I'll be honest, I used to struggle a lot with this. My dog would never listen to me if he was having a good playdate. It would be like 60% he would listen, 40% I don't know what would happen. And in those cases, he would just keep playing with other dogs, or even if he wasn't playing, actively engage with them. If he saw another dog, sometimes he just wouldn't listen to me. But I have found like the hack, the secret code to breaking this, terrible cycle of them not listening to you and favoring other dogs over you. And so I started with like the regular advice, right? I started with, of course, obedience training. My dog listens to me all the time if there's no other distractions. Then I would gradually increase the distractions. I would have some dogs in the distance, keep my dogs on a leash while I was training him, trained recall, trained other basic obedience commands, but still it just wasn't working. As soon as my dog got too distracted by a dog, or as soon as my dog was in a play date with a dog, I didn't matter. Even if I said, come here, whatever, he just would not listen. So what did I do to finally break this cycle and encourage my dog to listen to me, even if there were other dogs around? Let's get right into it because it's not that complicated. So I'm gonna keep this short and sweet because there's literally only 2 things I had to do to make my dog listen to me even when he's around other dogs. And both were equally important in making this happen. And when I say listen to you around other dogs, I'm mostly talking about recall, but also it could be stuff like stop, like freeze in place, or sit even in the middle of a play date. Mochi does this 100% of the time now because of these 2 things. The first game changer was no more dog park and no more random playing with other dogs. When I say random playing with other dogs, I mean no more greeting dogs I don't know, no more greeting dogs we pass on the walk, unless it's like once in a while, that's fine. But what I used to do was like if we were walking with Mochi and there seemed to be like a really friendly girl dog coming our way, especially if it was like another Aussie, which Mochi loves, I would, sometimes let Mochi say hi to them. Sometimes I'd get talking with the owner, we'd let them off leash to play a little bit. And this was terrible, just the same way the dog park was terrible. As you might know if you watch my videos, I hate the dog park now anyways, but I did used to go when Mochi was a puppy. And this is terrible, 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 not only for reactivity, but also this issue where your dog doesn't listen to you around other dogs. So the reason why dog parks and also frequent random greetings with like stranger dogs is so bad for getting your dog to listen to you around other dogs is because these types of activities and these types of places encourage your dog to associate other dogs with excitement and elevated levels of, again, excitement and emotion. So if you know a little bit about reactivity, you can understand why this would lead to dog reactivity. And in the same way, it leads to your dog associating other dogs as always meaning play and fun and just a lot of great times. And that encourages your dog to, whenever he sees a dog, to want to accomplish that emotion again, to want to play again, because that's what he always does. And that's why if your dog is having the best time with another dog, or if he knows he's allowed to greet every dog he's going to see, then obviously he's not going to listen to you because that is more valuable. That is more fun. So by stopping going to the dog park and stopping greeting like every dog we saw on the street, you take away that like association of dog means play. Dog means fun. Dog means sprinting all over the place and, just again, elevation of emotion. Instead, what we do now is practice walking by other dogs. And I know this sounds a lot easier said than done because a lot of dogs might stop in their tracks and refuse to walk until they say hi to another dog. So to combat this, you can bring something of higher value. I'll get into this in my next point actually, because that's what this next point is about. But basically you want to find something that your dog loves and give it to them whenever they see another dog and keep walking, to encourage them to keep walking and also to teach them that when they see another dog, you will give them a treat. You want to create that new association, a new reaction to seeing another dog. And this does not mean that Mochi never gets play dates anymore, never gets to play with other dogs. That's definitely not what it is, but it's more about finding like appropriate times to play so that my dog does not associate every single dog anywhere we go with excitement and freaking out. And by doing this, my dog learns that there's appropriate times to play and we have fun, but when it comes to listening, he has to listen. And this doesn't sound like that much of a game changer if you haven't tried it yet, because it's not really like a training tip. It's kind of like a change in routine, but trust me, it will do wonders for making your dog listen to you, especially if you do the thing with walking past other dogs and offering your dog high value rewards for not going to them for keeping walking. And so now with Mochi, like every weekend or even during the week, we'll set up play dates with dogs that we know. Like he has 2 husky best friends that we play with all the time. So Mochi's not deprived of that social interaction. And also like once in a while, if we're walking somewhere in the forest or something and there's no one around, then we walk into like an Aussie or a Border Collie, which is like Mochi's favorite dogs, then a lot of times we'll let him play with them. And that's totally fine. My point is, You want to break that association of your dog with every dog equals play, every dog equals greeting. You could even say hi to random dogs on your walk if you want to, just don't do it with every single dog because that creates association. At least randomize the times. And my second game changer point is to find a high value reward. And I'm not talking just any high value reward, find the high value reward. This is a tip I give in a lot of videos such as reactivity and stuff like that. But in this situation, I'm talking like find the golden ticket. I don't know, like find like the pot of gold for your dog. I'm not talking about like if your dog likes a piece of, boiled chicken. That might not be your dog's the high reward. Like for example, when I take out a Chuck It ball for my dog, he will forget everything else in the world and come sprinting to me so we could play with it. He doesn't react like that to anything else. He doesn't react like that to cheese, to chicken, literally anything, just the Chuck It ball. And every single dog has one of these things. You have to kind of experiment, but you will know when you know. And again, some dogs have more than one the reward. It could be like 3 different things, but you will know when your dog values something above anything else because they will have all their laser focused attention on that thing and on you when you have that reward. I would suggest trying things like food first, so like chicken, cheese, stuff like that. But for a lot of dogs like Mochi, it's actually not food, but something like a toy, or even it could be like an activity. So for example, if your dog loves, I don't know, sticks more than anything in the world, then you can even reward your dog for coming to you by throwing them a stick every single time. My point is, when you want your dog to listen to you around other dogs, you want to reward them every single time they do listen to you around other dogs with like the best thing in the entire world, which would be that high value reward. So if Mochi's playing with his friends and I take out the Chuck It ball and say, come, and he comes to me, I'm going to give it to him, throw it a little bit, in the distance because that's what his reward is. And that's why he listens to me all the time around other dogs. So try these 2 things in combination, change that kind of routine if that's what you do already, stop going to the dog park, at least not so often. Stop greeting all these random dogs on the street. Plus combine that with a high value reward every single time your dog listens to you and other dogs, and you will notice such a difference. It might take a few weeks, it might take a few months, but the way your dog will react to you, even if there's like an amazing distraction, like 10 dogs playing in the distance, it's just going to be like this total shift in how he reacts. Now that you know how to make your dog listen to you even around other dogs, check out this video linked here on the screen about dog reactivity.